Okay, so we'll write the program on the constructor. Till yesterday, we just saw the theory, and today we'll discuss constructor. We'll see different type of constructors and constructor overloading also. I'll show you here. Okay, so let's move on. So I'll create a new class, new Java class. So that is student class I'm creating. The student class is created. Now I need some values. I'm just going to give private string name. Student has a name, right? Private int. Maybe I can say age. So private. Maybe you can give a string branch. Right. So these are the three variables I just declared. Okay. So, and also I'll create a one non-static method to print these values. Okay, to print these values. So I'll create a so public void display details. Okay, display details I'm just putting, and I'm going to use this name is branch. I'm going to print them. So just print those system dot out dot print ln. So student details are so I can system dot out dot println student name, right? Student name. Just you can directly call the non-static variable in non-static method, that is name. So let's call the remaining values also. I just want to print these student details. That's it. Student age, and just call the age. Student branch. Okay, these are the different details we have. Student details. Now, so I'm going to have constructors. First, I'll create a default constructor. Okay, let's create a default constructor. How to create it? Let me show you. So you can also create, but manually. I'm going to use a IntelliJ option. Generate. Right click and generate constructor. See, select none. Okay, select none. I'm just creating a default constructor. Okay, so that's what I see. Class name, a constructor name is same. So just simply say that system dot out dot println. So default constructor. Okay, that's it. So, and create one more constructor. Just right click. So I want to create generate a constructor. I'll just take it two. Okay, these two. So two parameterized constructor I created. Public student string name int age. So this dot name, see, is represent the instance variable. and right side one represent this parameter. This dot is represent the instance variable, and right side one represent this parameter. So this keyword is a reference variable which refers to current class objects. Current class objects means current class instance variable, current class methods, current class constructor. You can call current class constructor one constructor in another constructor with this keyword. So three advantages. So to represent instance variable in the current class, you will use this. See that? This is representing the instance variable. Why? So now instance variable is same and this parameter is same. Parameter is local to this constructor or method. But how can you differentiate if same name is there? Parameter names and instance variable names are same. Then how can you identify which one is an instance variable, which one is a parameter? So to distinguish that, if you keep this dot instance variable, that this dot instance variable represent the instance variable name. So now here, this part is instance variable. So that's very clear. And that's the first advantage. It is used, this keyword is used to represent the instance variable when there is a conflict. Same variable name is there in the instance variable and parameter names. To distinguish that, you can use this dot name or this dot instance variable will represent always instance variable. It is used to represent the instance variable. This keyword is used to represent the instance variable. First point. And second point, to call one constructor in another constructor, you can use this keyword, this parenthesis, if you are calling a default constructor. This parenthesis parameters, if you are giving, then you are calling the parameterized constructor. That is this keyword purpose, second purpose. Third one is, if you want to call one non-static method in another non-static method in the same class, you can use this dot non-static method that represent the current class non-static methods. So that's a disadvantage. I'll show you that. So already variables I have shown you. Now constructor also I'm going to show you. So one more, I want to create one more constructor, generate constructor. So all three, and see, three parameterized constructor. Three parameterized constructor. Three parameterized constructor is basically, see that same code you have written, right? Here, this code already written here. Again, you are writing here. That's a duplicate, right? Then how can you avoid that? So call this constructor here instead of this code again. How can you call one constructor in another constructor? How can you call one constructor in another constructor? So that's the constructor. See that? Now, is this a parameterized constructor or a default constructor? What kind of constructor is this?
It's parameter constructor.
Parameterized constructor. So
That's
two parameters are there. So
yes.
first, if you want to call one constructor in another constructor, you have to use this keyword, right? This keyword, then parenthesis, and you have to give parameter names, name and age, right? These are the two. So give the name, comma, age. That's it. See, you are avoiding writing again code. You're just calling. constructor. This constructor you are calling here. So that you don't need to write same code, duplicate code. That's the one constructor you can call in another constructor with this keyword.
Based on the parameters, the particular constructor will call, right, Ramesh?
Will call, exactly. So
If
now
I
two
remove the
parameters.
name and age, it will go to the first one, default constructor. Okay. Thank you.
It will call this constructor. But I want this one.
Yeah.
So I can create this. So this is the second advantage. So let me create a only getter methods so that I'll show you the method purpose also. Method how you can call one constructor. Generate only getters. So generate only getters. So only getter methods I generated. I don't want setters because setters, I have a constructors. Either you can use a constructor or you can use a setters. Any one is fine. No need both, okay? Setter methods also will do the setting the values. So constructor also will set the values for these variables. So second way to set the instance variable values is through parameterized constructor or through setter methods. Is this clear? See, now I am setting your variable values. See, this is the way you are setting with a constructor, right? And you are setting with a constructor. Now, instead of this variable, I can call directly here. See how I am calling. This dot get name. This dot get name represents the current class get method. See, this is the non-static. Get name also non-static. See, this is the non-static return type method. Only return type method you can call in the print statement, right? Because it is giving a value. See, or you want to represent this dot is or this dot get is. See, I'm calling with this keyword. So do you need to call this? Not necessary. But it represents that internally this will represent this dot get branch. It will call internally this dot get branch only. Even if you write directly, internally it will call this. Implicitly it will call. You don't need to explicitly mention in the same class. Same class method it knows. So that is the, so this keyword advantage, all three advantages. Again, repeating one more time. This is a reference variable which is used to refer current class objects. That's the definition. The advantages of this keyword is it is used to represent the current class instance variable. This keyword is used to invoke current class constructor in another constructor. You will use this keyword. Third advantage. This keyword is used to invoke current class instance method in another instance method in the same class. You will use this keyword. All three advantages I have shown you, I have explained along with the constructor topic. See, constructor topic also. Default constructor. Parameterized constructor. Three parameterized constructor. What do you call this? If a class has more than one constructor.
Constructed overloading.
Constructor overloading.
Ramesh, can you please repeat the third point, what you said about this? I didn't get it.
To call the one class So instance method. This is the instance methods, right? These are all, right? I'm calling this instance method in another instance method. This is also instance method or
Yeah,
non-static
okay.
method. I'm calling
Okay.
here with this keyword. So
Yeah,
it is
okay.
used to invoke or to call another non-static method in some other non-static method. You will use this keyword. Okay? Clear? Okay.
Yeah,
So
Ramesh.
I have covered constructor. I have covered this keyword very, very clearly. And even in the interview also, they will ask the same. What is constructor? How many types of constructors are there? And what is constructor overloading? These are the questions they will ask. Can you use this keyword in static methods? No, you cannot use. You cannot use this keyword in the static methods. Okay, you can use only for the objects, not inside the static methods.
Ramesh, one small.
Mm-hmm.
So in line number 41, we are not using this dot, right?
Mm-hmm.
That is because we have created a get method in the top. That is the reason we are directly calling here.
Same class methods.
Whether you use this or not, automatically it will create.
Implicitly, this will call.
Yeah.
Implicitly, this will call there. Implicitly, it will call the this inside. Okay. Even if you don't write also, it will call implicitly. This will call automatically.
Correct, Ramesh. But my point is, I mean, it is calling because we have written. Can you move a little up? I mean,
sir, what is mean by this keyword I told you? This will represent the current class objects.
correct.
That means that method is in the current class only. Current class methods only you can call with this keyword. Clear?
Yes, Ramesh. But one small doubt is the line number 41. I mean, we are not writing this, right? That is because of the line number 17 and 18.
It's not like that.
Right?
I told you
No.
clearly here. Even if you
Okay.
don't write also, internally it will call this.
Okay, fine.
Automatically, program will call this dot get branch. Even if you write or not, but internally it will call this dot get branch only. This dot get branch means current class get branch
Current
method.
class.
If you
Fine.
here you're writing explicitly. I'm saying no need to write explicitly. Automatically, even if you don't write also, it will by default, this will be included for every instance method before. Implicitly means what, sir? Automatically. You don't need to write. By default, this will add to the method. That's the this means. I hope you are clear or still not clear.
Yeah. No, I understood that.
Okay. So now let's call the methods, all the constructors. First, I'll create object for the default constructor. Create object for student class with the default constructor. So what is the syntax of class object creation? Class name, object reference equal to new class name. So I'm using default constructor. So I'll use this one only. Class name is student. St equal to new student. Now I'm going to call st dot display details. I just call this method. Now what will happen? We are calling default constructor. What will happen? What are the values of these variables? Can you tell me for the name, what is the value? For age, what is the value? And branch, what is the value?
Null
Like
zeros.
null
Nulls
and
and zeros.
Null,
And zeros.
null,
zero,
null.
null.
Mm.
So default construct, what it will do? It will construct the default values based on that data type of the variable. So let's execute this. See this. Null. Student is 0. Student branch null. So that's the default constructor. If you call it constructed default values. Call two parameterized constructor. New student. So let's give. I'm giving my name. And I'll give student means something will give. Okay, general. Now call stu dot display details. Now what are the values it will print? For name and age it will print. But what about branch? What value it will print for a branch?
Null.
Null. Right? It's a null will print. Yeah, you're right. So let's execute. See that? Student name, and because you given the values, parameter values, you're setting the name value, you're setting the age value. But you didn't set a branch, that's why null you're getting. Clear? And which constructor you call, that constructor will be called automatically. So 3 parameterized constructor. So I'll change this value. Okay. So S3. Just give S3. Let's execute it. Say 3 parameter values you have given. Now this will call this constructor. And second one will call this constructor. First object will call this constructor. See that? All the values are set and you are getting with the getter methods. You are setting in the constructor itself, object line itself, but you are getting them with the getter methods. How is it possible? So constructor also setting the values. So I told you one way is to setter methods, you can set your variable values. Another way, through parameterized constructor, you can set the values. So that is the logic behind that, why it is setting up. Clear? Are any questions before going for the next topic?
No questions.
Yeah. So practice more so that you'll get a better idea. Take up your own examples and create examples, and that really helps you a lot. Okay, so let's go now. The next topic is inheritance. So what is mean by inheritance? So inheritance is, you can find inheritance here because it is read more. You have to click in the constructor, Java constructor topic inside, read more is there. There you have inheritance. Okay, so it is hidden. So don't confuse there. Okay. So next OOPS concept is inheritance. So what is mean by inheritance? Inherit, you know, right? Inherit means you are taking properties of your parents or your grandparent. You are the legal authority to use those properties. So that's the inherit. So here inheritance of from one class to other class is, so basically it's one of the mechanism to allow a class to inherit the properties and methods from another class. One class properties and methods you're going to use in the child class. That means it promotes code reusability and establishes a relationship between two classes. Suppose you have a vehicle class as a base class, and car class can inherit from it, acquiring common attributes and methods defined in the vehicle class. You don't need to define them again in the car class. Whatever declared in the vehicle class, you can use in the car class. That is the inheritance. So how can we do this inheritance? So child class extends parent class. So let's come back and we'll discuss more, okay, after this